Astro Bot is the best game I've played in years. I'm not alone. Hovering in the mid-90s on Metacritic. The Confederate White House doesn't even get reviews like that. And showered in comparisons to some of the best platformers of all time, like Mario Galaxy, the Spyro trilogy, and Banjo? Astro clearly struck a chord with gamers all over the world. So why we hatin', man? This new Kotaku article dropped called Astro Bot's soulless devotion to the Sony brand is a real problem. Now, how easy would it be to just blindly hate on Kotaku? Well, I don't like to indulge in blasting easy targets. And that's not just because I can't throw stones as a YouTuber with 5 videos. The truth is, I admire someone who can so boldly share their opinion on a popular game without losing their nerve. The internet is a scary place, and it's not Kotaku as a monolith tearing Astro apart. It's a sole writer who saw a level of corporate cynicism in a product people are enjoying, and decided to earnestly put forward thoughts that may not be super popular because that's what an op-ed writer does. I don't think this writer deserves any ire or hate. He deserves no malice. He stepped into the arena like few are brave to do, planted his flag and said, I know you guys are celebrating, but let me make this point. And he didn't even let the fact that his name sounds like Cole Conman deter him. Now, all that being said, I still think he's dead fucking wrong. Rarely have I heard a take as cynical as calling what Astro Bot does brand fellatio. It's like if the cast of Friends gets together for a paid event to celebrate the show, is that brand fellatio? If McDonald's gives away toys of their mascots in 50s McDonald's attire, is that brand fellatio? If a small YouTuber tries in a desperate attempt to turn himself into a brand by leaving sunglasses everywhere, is that brand fellatio? I'm asking for a friend. Astro Bot referencing Days Gone is not brand fellatio. Astro Bot making a spoiler alert, whole ass level around Loco Roco is not brand fellatio. For God's sake, the writer goes on to say, I already bought the damn PS5, and then blatantly insults Final Fantasy, which, you know, broken clocks and all that. And then he says, what more do you want? My brother in Christ. There is no way you are implying that Team Asobi are corporate shills because they negotiated with Microsoft, Sony's biggest competitor, to get Crash and Spyro in this goddamn game. Like, are you serious? The entire point of this article is summed up here. He says that Astro Bot is only engaged with its source material basically in shallow terms. He calls it a parade float game. This actually isn't the worst point in the world. It's undeniable that capturing these little bots is not the deepest form of respect these franchises could possibly receive. Retrieving a little bot that vaguely resembles Sly Cooper is not going to be as stimulating to your nostalgia receptors as carefully thought out Super Smash Bros. Representation. They are just little reskins of little minion men with little PlayStation appendages strewn about on them, but that's not where it ends. Every bot you find comes with these cute little taglines that cleverly reference the source material. Every special bot comes with secondary items that allow you to interact with them and see unique animations. And guess what? The characters that are in this game are not all here to sell you a PS5. Ape Escape? Patapon? They just took fucking Sackboy out back and shot him, and now here he is. Sackbot. Some people are going to see something like this and just cynically see a brand shaking its own hand. But I choose to not see it that way. Some of us have been here for 5 generations of PlayStation. And when I see Crash Bandicoot, a character now owned by Sony's primary console hardware opponent, appear in this game out of pure love, that to me is the very definition of a celebration. Sony will never directly benefit from Crash's existence again, outside of maybe the small rip a console maker gets for selling a game on their console. I'm not even sure they got a hell of a lot of that with Crash Team Rumble. That's a whole other discussion. For all we know, the next Crash game is exclusive to Xbox. He's here anyway. That's a celebration. That's loving a brand. Still though, no hate to the writer. It's a far more cynical take than I would give, but I respect the hustle. I ain't got shit to defend John Garvin with, though. John Garvin is the co-creator and former lead writer on Days Gone. You may remember Days Gone as a game. No, but in all seriousness, Days Gone released in 2019 to mixed critical reception and decent sell-through. It didn't light the world on fire, but in terms of sales, it sold pretty comparable to other decently sized PlayStation first-party games like Ghost of Tsushima. Days Gone, though, unlike other first-party games released last generation, did not get greenlit for a sequel. I have no strong opinions on Days Gone, but I will just quickly take this opportunity to remind developers, you can just call them zombies.
Not just the freakers.
After Days Gone was not greenlit for a sequel, John Garvin left Sony Bend shortly thereafter on seemingly bad terms. And he's been pitching a bitch fit ever since. Look, I don't know about any of the behind-the-scenes drama that led to Garvin's departure, although as a connoisseur of some of the world's most boring documentaries, you bet a smelly horse I'd watch that shit. Maybe he has every reason in the world to be bitter and mad and to hate every single thing that Sony Bend ever does ever again. But this is not the way to fucking handle it. Kinda sad that Deke has been reduced to promoting other games. Well done, Bend Studio. Way to protect your legacy. Do you see what you guys did? You sullied the good name of Days Gone by putting it in the most critically acclaimed game of the year. Will someone please think of the freakers? Haha. I see my character reduced to a cartoon shill promoting some small game, and I'm being harsh? Sit down, my brother. Adults are talking. Well, they must be talking somewhere else, because this is the dumbest shit I've ever read. If there is one thing you take from this video, please let it be this. No one in the fucking world bought Astro Bot because Dickwad St. John was in it. It just goes to show you, cynicism is a blood sport. There's no reason for any of this. Deacon, Crash, Nathan Drake, Kratos, fucking Polygon Man are all in this game because someone thought they mattered to the history of PlayStation. I implore everyone watching this, go watch an interview with the Astro Bot director at some point. He seems genuinely passionate about the industry, and I'd be shocked if he didn't at least dabble with every franchise represented in this game. Is there a possibility that some of these cameos were mandated in a boardroom? Yes. Did Team Asobi get to make every final creative decision to a fine-tuned point? Probably not. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the passion that has been poured into every last pixel of this game. And I'm sorry, you cannot convince me that the reason Patapons are marching in this fucking video game is to sell you a PS5. It's up to all of us to break the cycle of cynicism. And yes, I know I called John Garvin a pile of ass crack sweat. Actually, did I? Oh no, that one stayed in the drafts. Forget I said that. But even if I did, you know what? That's beneath all of us. Let's not hate or harass anyone, especially John Garvin. Let's just go and be happy, be merry, enjoy Astro Bot, because you know what? That's what Astro Bot would want. Now, if you excuse me, it's time for an Astro Bot dance party. Astro Bot is the best game I've... Fuck, the air conditioner's on, you idiot.